value and appreciate, which is all Venus, right? And then if they in a vibe that you're not matching, boom, you're gonna create a scenario that create a blockage for you to be in the vibe that you want to be in. So you end up creating a scenario that you either gotta escape, get out of, lie out of, or all right, just to get back in your own vibe. See what I'm saying? So it's all kind of shit when we talk about these energies. Now, motherfucking Mars is in Aquarius, so Mars is still on the cusp, but it's sliding out probably tomorrow or the next day. So it's sliding out. So, you know, Mars was still developing the energies of Capricorn. So it left Capricorn and is now in Aquarius, but it's still on the cusp. So, you know, it's Mars' intent, willpower, passion, motivation, desires, your alternative motives. So that should be backed and supported. Now, when it was surely in Capricorn, that should have been backed and supported by your status, how you gain structure in your life, how you see reality, how you get from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? How you think, how you initiate and create new ways of how you think and be practical and come up with common sense with practical solutions in your life. That's what's supposed to be your intent. That was supposed to be your alternative motives. If that wasn't your intent, alternative motives, or your passions, people would look at you like you're not right, or your mind ain't in the right place, or your intentions or your alternative motives is in the wrong place, and people may not want to deal with you. So make sure you know thyself and know the energies we are in, so you can know what kind of chemistry alchemist cup you're creating for your realm, you're creating for yourself. Now, because you're manifesting everything in your life, know that. So when we talk about Mars, it was on the cusp. So I want you to do a little bit of that, but I also want you to communicate that, but create your own unique and original way of how to communicate your status or what you're known for, or how you think and practicalize things and things of that nature, because we're talking about Aquarius, fixed air, being fixated on his own way of thinking and communicating. So having a fixed way, that's automatically can come out as being unique and original, but you can't have unique and original without change, rebel, or opposition of something that was previously there. So, you know, you can't have one without the other. And this is why this energy is here, because Uranus rules Aquarius. And Uranus is representing uniqueness and originality. But like I said, you can't have one without the other. Something has to be changed, rebelled, or opposed against in order for something brand new to be received as unique and original. So for the most part, you know, you can't have one without the other. But it's a gift and a curse to everything. So when we talk about Mars, Mars wants you to do that with your status and what you're known for, how you're seen. But it wants you to lighten up on that right now, because the cusp is on the last degree, which is 2 degrees. A cusp is a 5-degree orb. Now this 5-degree orb between two planets, that little world that they create, is the cusp. And the cusp is a 5-degree orb, which will be 28, 29 in degrees of a sign, then 0 degrees, 1 and 2 degrees of that sign. That 5-degree orb, which is 0, 29, 28, 1, 2 of the next sign, that's the 5-degree orb. You see what I'm saying? So 28, 29, 0, 1, 2. And that's that little cusp area. So they all share similar traits, but based upon a balance scale of it is how much other traits that they share. For an example, a 28 and 29 degrees of a cusp sign will play out that sign a little bit more, but it'll be backed and supported by the future sign. And then the sign ahead, if you are 1 or 2 degrees of a sign, you're going to play out that energy first, but that's being heavily backed and supported by the sign you just came from. And then the 0 degrees, they play out naturally between both blends. But all y'all as a 5-degree orb truly are the same people. It's just, if I wanted, like, if both of y'all came to me and both of y'all are cusp, for me to break down how y'all are different, I would have to break it down degree-wise. But from the outside looking in, y'all might be the same motherfucking people. You might be a family member to somebody, and that family member might think you remind them of another family member, because y'all both might be cusp. Y'all both might be on that cusp. You might be 28 degrees of Sagittarius, and then your family member might be 2 degrees of Capricorn. And then you'd be like, man, they remind me of each other, but one is a, you see what I'm saying? One is a, you get what I'm saying? So for the most part, that's just a little, hold on, yeah, 29 degrees, yeah, so, one person is a Sag and one person is a Cap, but they remind me of each other. They just do slightly things in different ways. That's why, because you are 28 degrees Sag or 28 degrees Pisces, and then your family member is a 2 degrees Aries. So, you see what I'm saying? It's a cuss thing. All right, stay ship out the dot. But, yeah, for the most part, you know, that's what, Mars and shit, it wants you to play out. It wants you to, your intent, your alternative motive is to be unique and original right now. So the more you don't do that, especially if you are a sun sign in Gemini right now, you kind of like to, you know what I'm saying, make yourself accessible in a way that everybody intellect can understand. But so this would separate you from your Aquarius, because Aquarius don't care whether you understand or not. They're gonna go their own unique and original way of thinking and communicating. So right now, this should be your alternative motives at the moment anyway, and then you should let it filter out through the sun right now. Let that fixated way, correlate that through Mercury and Taurus in a way that you correlate that unique and original way of communicating and analyzing from Mars. Correlate that with Mercury and fixate it with Mercury being in Taurus, right? Therefore, when you react to details and respond to them with criticism and things of that nature, with Moon being in Mercury, with the Moon being in Virgo, you're able to effectively act on these things and have people see your viewpoint in a communicative way when you communicate it, because you'll be able to communicate it in a mutable way, and which is Gemini, in a way of how other people can understand you. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I want to do the alignments too. It's a few alignments that we got to do, but this camera is going to die. So, the common theme right now is discussing your dis-ease. Sun in Taurus, Moon in Virgo, and it's going to be like that all the way into the Moon slide up into motherfucking Libra. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.